you're listening to.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
But let's talk Thursday Night Football. Chris Simpson now joins us via the Incubator Coffee guest line. Good morning, Chris.
What's going on, guys? Good morning. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. Okay, I think they were trolling this week because the Thursday night game features the Texans at 6-2 and the Jets. Who wrote this script?
Not me.
I mean, New York, it's bad enough to be a New York sports fan in general when the Yankees got beat by the Dodgers. Now you're going to have C.J. Stroud whoop your butt in town?
And that's in the Meadowlands.
Yes. Everyone come Friday morning is going to be completely hammered in New York.
Yeah.
Because of all of this BS losses they're taking.
Okay, Chris, let's start at the top of the mountain. And I don't know how I'm going to scale this thing, but I will. Wasn't this supposed to be? We talked about revenge tours earlier in the show. Wasn't this supposed to be somewhat of a revenge tour for the New York Jets?
Revenge? I wouldn't necessarily say that. I feel that's kind of stretching it. But look, they haven't been the team that many expected them to be. They're 2-6. That was the game they should have won on Sunday.
They should have won walking
against
away.
New England. New England. And listen, there's nothing else the Jets can do. Okay, they've made the trade for Devontae Adams when, in my eyes, they really didn't need to.
Right.
They fired a coach. You know, they've done everything, and look at what's happened since they fired Robert Saleh. They haven't won a game, so that just kind of makes you say, was he really the problem, or was he the scapegoat? And I'm gonna lean with the second choice. I truly feel they just needed someone to blame. And also look at it like this, guys. Name a time when Robert Saleh really had a roster to compete with.
He never had.
Yeah, exactly.
He never had a roster. He never had a roster to compete with.
Exactly.
Which kind of messes things up for him because, and we said a couple weeks ago, and Chris was in tow with us. He was set up to fail from the beginning.
Yeah. He really was.
He was set up to fail from the beginning. And now you have a Jets team that's adrift, wondering what kind of identity they have, which they don't. You know, everybody was saying, and I don't include Chris in this statement because Chris is a very astute football mind. I heard all the Jets fans saying all we needed was a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you got a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Now what?
Yeah, exactly. But the Jets' identity, they're not establishing Breece Hall. You know, I remember saying before the season started, a healthy dose of Breece Hall was going to make all the difference, because the Jets still have that notion, and they believe this in their head, that Aaron Rodgers can still win games with his arm. And come on, let's just be real. He's not the guy that we saw in Green Bay all those years.
No. No, unfortunately not.
Right. And as the defense, I want him to throw the ball X amount of times. I wouldn't have said this a decade ago, but I just think now he can only throw the ball maybe between 28 to 35 times at the most. If he throws over 35 times, they're going to lose. And I've been saying this the last couple of weeks. Look at when they played the Tennessee Titans. He threw the ball, I believe, 30 times in that game, and they won because they grinded the game out. Then when they played New England the first time on Thursday night, he threw the ball 26 times. That's actually the best he's looked all year long. But then after that, it just seems to really go downhill from there, because Against Denver, he throws the ball 42 times and he's sacked left and right. Then against Minnesota, he throws 3 interceptions, but he throws the ball 54 times. I mean, he didn't look bad in the Monday night game against Buffalo, but yeah, the Jets they're a mess. MESS, mess.
Mess. Exactly. There's nothing more, and you just said it a moment ago, Chris. There's nothing more that the Jets can do. This season this season's toasted.
Yeah, it is.
This season for the New York Jets is toasted.
Yeah, it definitely is. And just looking at all the quality competition in the AFC, I also said this before the year started. Where do you place them in the AFC? Because they're definitely not on the same level as Kansas City. Quite frankly, I don't think many are. They're not better than Houston.
Nope.
They're not better than the Steelers, and they just lost to the Steelers a couple of weeks ago. They're not better than Baltimore. And I mean,
on
know
Monday
Miami,
night, as a matter of fact.
Right. And I know Miami has struggled, but Miami on their best day, the Jets aren't better than them. They're not better than Buffalo. They're not better than the team they're gonna see tonight in Houston. So where exactly do you place them in the AFC?
At the bottom.
Basically.
That's the only place where I can put them, because in the highlights that I've watched with the Jets since they fired Robert Saleh, they've given up.
Yeah, I agree. Especially on Sunday in Foxborough, because that was the game they had won, and they just let that slip through their hands
willingly, wouldn't you say, Chris? They
willingly
let it slip through their fingers.
I'm a New England fan, and I'll even agree with that.
And here's the thing: what more can Aaron Rodgers say? What more can he do?
Nuff and ing for both
questions. He can't tell the Jets faithful to RELAX relax like he did in Green Bay.
Nah, that won't last.
No, that ain't gonna fly. Not
it's
New
York.
Yeah, that's
it's
not
New
going.
York.
That's
it's
not
New
going
York.
To fly here.
No, it's New York. You're gonna get your tail end kicked if you try that.
Yeah.
There's another game I want to review with Chris Into, because we didn't officially do our picks last week with Chris Into, but I am of the thinking that it won't be necessary, because this is a clean sweep with all of us picking Houston to win tonight.
Yeah,
Houston should win tonight. I mean, they come in injured, but I look at both teams. They're both great against the pass. So I expect this to be a Joe Mixon game for the Houston Texans. It's just tough to hear about what happened to Stephon Diggs, and I'm really wishing him a speedy recovery. They're already without Nico Collins, so Tank Dell is really gonna have to step it up. But I just don't like what I'm seeing from the Jets right now. I like Houston.
Yeah, I like Houston also, and I think this is gonna be a runaway, figuratively and literally, because like you said, Chris, this is going to be a Joe Mixon kind of game. They don't have their two biggest weapons, but they do have Tank Dell. They got Dalton Schultz. They can use Mixon out of the backfield. And then you got CJ Stroud, quarterback the team.
Yeah,
exactly.
The fact is CJ is going to be probably the bigger thing going on, because if you're running Mixon out of the backfield, CJ can set the screens up a lot easier. And the Jets have always had problems against the screens. Look how New England got most of their yardage after that blown call against. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me pose this question, because we also took a look at the Sunday night game with the Cowboys and the 49ers. We did a quick preview of that. Why couldn't the Cowboys, and I'm asking the whole panel this question, I never got a chance to do it on Monday. Why couldn't the Cowboys stop that third quarter San Francisco Avalanche? Chris, I'll begin with you.
I just think the 49ers made key adjustments at the half. That's what football comes down to. Who can change it up? Because Dallas looked pretty good
Yeah.
in the first half of that
Yeah, they
game,
did.
and then they took their foot off the gas. The 49ers went back to the basics. They ran the football. Dallas has been struggling to stop the run, and they kept running it until Dallas could do something about it. But
No.
the one thing that just concerns me about the 49ers, they can't hold a lead.
Right.
Not only that,
Right.
not only that the
They-
Cowboys have no run game to speak of for themselves.
No, they
It's like,
don't.
if
Which
you
is
can't stop the run,
very
you have to match
surprising.
it. It's like if you can't stop the run, you have to at least match their run prowess with yours.
And they can't.
And
They
they
can't.
forced Dak to become one-dimensional again.
I think the Cowboys are either next to last or last in the league in running offense. Meanwhile, you got San Francisco, even though they're down to their rookie, Isaac Guerrero out of Louisville, they're still the third or fourth rated running offense in the NFL,
Because
which
the offensive
goes
And
back
that's
to the
what-
sinister mind of Kyle Shanahan and company. They want to run the ball down your throat, which was the premise of the West Coast offense when Bill Walsh created it in 1980.
yeah.
And that's the thing about the 49ers. It doesn't matter who it is. They're going to plug anybody back in the backfield, and they're going to run the football.
Now they get a chance to rest. They get a chance to get some key pieces back. And, Dietz just said in the green room, we killed ourselves with penalties in the first half, 7 of them. 7 penalties in the first half, but yet the Cowboys allowed San Francisco to get a field goal to cut it to 10-6, with the Niners getting the ball to start the second half, which they promptly marched down the field and turned it into a touchdown, and we were off to the races after that. Now the bye week for San Francisco, they get a chance to heal. There's lots of rumors flying around that McCaffrey may return for week 10, which is a trip to Tampa Bay. That's going to be huge, especially in the red zone offense for San Francisco.
Most definitely. And he helps open up the offense. He puts a lot of pressure on a defense because you have to account for him not only as a runner, but as a receiver as well. He's truly the closest thing I've seen to LaDainian Tomlinson. They have that very similar skill set to where he can run it, and he has over 100 yards rushing. He can catch the ball out the backfield, score a touchdown as a receiver, and he has over 50 yards receiving. Then he could even throw it as well.
Yep. Talk about the emergence of Isaac Guerrero, and I mentioned this name earlier. Their rookie running back out of Louisville. He's really stepped up in the Thursday night game against Seattle and the Sunday night game against Dallas. He's really stepped up in the absence of Jordan Mason, who's out with a shoulder injury. Guerendo's really been plugged into this offense.
Yeah, he really has. It's all about the next man up, Brian. He's come in and he's bought that hard-nosed running style that the 49ers are known for. That's their blueprint. This is their bread and butter. They want to run the ball. They want to be physical, and they want to get downhill. And he provides that.
He really does. And he's smart, too, because in the Seattle game as well as the Dallas game, when the Niners sealed the game, he didn't go in the end zone or go out of bounds. He slid to make sure he kept running.
I saw that.
How smart is this kid?
I saw that. Very, very aware. That's what football comes down to sometimes. It's just outsmarting another team.
Trade deadline is coming up on November 5th. Who needs to make a big splash and who's available?
I want to see the Lions and how they can temporarily replace Aiden Hutchinson, because look, as much as the reports are saying that he could be back by the Super Bowl if they make it, I wouldn't do it. He's young.
Wouldn't either.
Yeah, I would just take his helmet from him and I would say, listen, we know you're itching to get back there, but we'd rather have you healthy for the long term than to get you re-hurt and then you're out longer.
Or it could be career ending.
Bingo. So they really have to be smart. He's the face of the franchise for them.
He is.
Yeah, so I would say the Detroit Lions and maybe Max Crosby, but it depends on what the Lions would give up to get him.
And I know I'm being a total homer and I'm half asleep when I say this, but could San Francisco be in play for Max Crosby?
That's a possibility. Or why not bring back somebody who's familiar with the 49ers? Why not trade for a guy like a DeForest Buckner?
And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that I'm hearing is that the 49ers are gearing up to bring back DeForest Buckner to that defense. Should they pull the trigger? And you know how the 49ers operate. Everybody on this panel knows how the 49ers operate. They swoop in at the last minute because 2 years ago, Christian McCaffrey was set to go to Buffalo.
Mm.
And then John Lynch made a phone call at 11:59 and 59 seconds and snatched up Christian McCaffrey. What would it take for the Niners to bring back DeForest Buckner or to bring Max Crosby or, dare I say, both?
Dr. K not killing you?
Yeah, why not? One thing I will say is the 49ers should have never let Eric Armstead walk. I think they'd be in a much better position defensively if they didn't let him go, because he was a big part of what they did. I always said San Francisco had a big three on defense, obviously starting with Nick Bosa.
Yep.
Then you had Eric Armstead on the other side, a guy who really benefited from the presence of Bosa because of all the double teams he commands. And then Fred Warner, who I think is the best linebacker in all of football right now.
Oh, Fred Warner. How can y'all not love Fred Warner? And it's so much fun to watch him play. Coming up against the break, but what would it take? I'll leave you with this question: what would it take for Frisco to land to bring back DeForest Buckner?
Probably some draft picks. That's probably what'll do it, because the Colts are kind of in a little bit of that rebuild right now. They're a young team, so yeah, those draft picks. See what you can get back for him. He still has some value right now.
Mm-hmm. That's Chris Simpson joining us as he does every Thursday, previewing Thursday Night Football and talking stuff before the trade deadline. Do the Niners make a move for DeForest Buckner or Max Crosby or both? Stick around and we'll keep you updated. Chris, always a pleasure, my friend. We love you, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to it. I'll see you then.
And I'll see you this weekend. We got to pick a game to do again, man.
Yes, we do.
And I think I know which one it's going to be. We'll talk about it after the break. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
Do you know what you're listening to?
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
Let's open the doors of Valhalla, shall we?
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Deeds.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Here's Dietz. He joins us right now. What's up, Dietz? Is he frozen? He froze.
There he is. He's muted, though.
He's muted. I tell you what, we have more.
No, there we go.
There you go. What's up, Dietz?
We just had a random showing of, the Mafia Queen pin of all things.
Oh, so the better half says hi.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one whose better half randomly pops up in a stream.
Yep, pretty much.
How are you, Dietz? Good to have you.
I'm doing good. Before we get to college, though,
yes,
I'll tell you what I've been thinking about pretty much since Monday night, and I'm glad Snowman's here because it involves one of the teams that you cover the most. But I got it, and I didn't even know the trade deadline was coming up. But I'm not even talking about the deadline. I'm talking about maybe in the postseason this year.
Yeah.
If I were them, I would pull this trigger right now. But I got a trade proposal, and I want to get everybody's opinion on this.
Okay.
Daniel Jones for Anthony Richardson, straight up.
You know what?
Here, let me give you the three. Let me give you the three reasons why I would make this move for both. But I think everybody wins in this. The Giants, the Colts, Daniel Jones, and Anthony Richardson. Everybody wins in this.
Okay.
First of all, the Giants. The Giants' offensive line is atrocious.
Yes.
Right? They need somebody at quarterback that can make plays without that just needs to be a playmaker because they can't block anybody. So the best thing for the Giants is to move the pocket. They need somebody who can move the pocket. If Daniel Jones is just standing there, he's going to get sacked every time. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Right. Mm-hmm. They need someone mobile.
The reason it works for the Colts is we've seen it this year. The Colts were better with Joe Flacco at quarterback than they've been with Anthony Richardson.
So true.
And Daniel Jones would give them that. He can play from the pocket. He can be a little bit mobile, and he's not always going to run. And we've seen what Daniel Jones can be when he has a running game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a guy who did make the playoffs. He did win a playoff game.
Yep, beat Minnesota. I'll answer your question. I'd pull the trigger in a heartbeat for those reasons, because Daniel Jones is a perfect fit for the Indianapolis offense, and vice versa for Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson has, and I talked about this on Sunday. He can't let his happy feet get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to him, except for the touchdown pass and maybe a couple of other passes. It got to him too many times.
He has no poise.
Scrambling out of the pocket, and that Indy offensive line is poised to block. It's poised to more run block than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull the trigger on that deal.
Unfortunately, AR doesn't have any poise in the pocket. He doesn't stand tall in the pocket like you see with a Drew Brees.
Right.
And that's what's causing him a lot of things. They feel like if they could put the pressure on the offensive line and it crumbles, he's going to get happy feet and he's going to take off.
We saw it all day Sunday. We saw it all day Sunday.
We see with Justin Fields too.
Yep. Ooh, that's that'll be a later discussion. But you're right. We see it with Anthony Richardson. And it was one of the first keys I mentioned when I did the Colts game on Sunday, when my wife surprised me and popped in the chat.
I got a question.
Speaking
Dietz.
of,
I got a question, Dietz. Do the Cowboys have any type of trade appeal whatsoever, or are we just going to have to wait until the draft comes in?
I don't think the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are not in a position where one guy is going to fix what's wrong with the Cowboys.
Right.
And for that reason, you don't go out and mortgage your future when one guy is not gonna help what they're doing. I mean,
right.
Thank you for saying that, Chris Dietz.
I agree.
Thank you for saying that, because
it's a complete overhaul. And I said before, it's got to start with the culture. It's got to start us at the top with Jarrell and Pennywise, Mike McCarthy, and then going into Dak. Because I mean, we can talk about how much Dak is below mediocre, but what does he have around him?
Right,
worse than below mediocre.
Well, you look at what made the Cowboys successful under Dak, a running game. What do they not have? They didn't bring a single running back in.
Nope.
And they can't run they just are allergic to running the football. So
say that again, Dietz. Say that again, please.
But they are. They're it's just that was the way it goes. They're just allergic to running the football. They look, Victor, when did I know the Cowboys were in trouble? Mm-hmm. First drive of the game, 3rd and 5. What do the Cowboys do? Oh, hand the ball to the fullback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next drive, 3rd and 1, and they pass the ball.
They pass.
Exactly.
You pass the ball on 3rd and 5. You run the ball with the fullback on 3rd and 1.
Right.
The Cowboys do the exact opposite because that's what they do.
You're right.
And listen.
So is that
I won't use the exact phrase that Dietz used to me on Sunday after the Cowboy 49er game, but that's exactly the kind of show that the Cowboys are in right now. And they've been in that kind of show, if you want to think about it honestly, since late last year when they had to struggle with a few teams.
So then my question is this then, and I'm going to try and not let this be an all Cowboy thing, but is that then a Pennywise issue? Do you get rid of Pennywise and that helps? It doesn't, alleviate everything, but does that help soften the blow? Because to me, a lot of coaching errors are happening.
I think Mike McCarthy has earned. I mean, he's earned the right to be fired. He's earned the right to stay on. The defensive side of the ball is a mess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their defense is a mess. But you need somebody in there who can say, all right, our defense is a mess. We cannot let the offense lose this game for it.
Right.
That's the thing about what the Cowboys did last year was they masked a lot of things by their defense was so good, it was giving them short fields.
Yes.
It masked a lot of problems. Their defense ain't stopping anybody this year. And look what they're having to do. They're in need of throwing the football. When Dak makes a mistake, it's catastrophic.
Yes.
When he made mistakes last year, it didn't kill him. But now it kills you because your defense can't stop anybody. So you give up the ball on the 49er side of the field, it's a guaranteed touchdown.
And what did I say last year? What did I say last year, Snowman? That defense was ready to win championships immediately. Yep. But the longer that the offense is anemic, that defense is going to start getting worn down, and that's what's happening.
And yep, that's what's happening. And that third quarter avalanche, Dietz, where the Niners scored 21 points in 6.5 minutes. Touchdown, then an interception that turns into a touchdown, then a 3-and-out that turns into a touchdown and gave the Niners a comfortable lead. That third quarter avalanche not only killed the Cowboys in that game, but I think it killed them for the season.
Oh, the season will come down to when they play Philadelphia, when they play Washington, when they play those teams. That's where the season is. The Cowboys. We all know the Cowboys. Anybody who thought the Cowboys were a contender, I mean, they're not a contender with other teams, but they're a contender in the NFC East.
Right.
The NFC East is that bad. I think the Giants are bad. The Commanders have played wonderfully, okay, for the Commanders. But this goes to my what I say in college football every week. Who have they beaten?
True.
Who have they beaten that's worth anything? They've had a last place schedule. They're playing well against bad teams. Look, it took a Hail Mary and the Bears defense just completely being inept on a Hail Mary.
The Bears being the Bears.
I mean, this is but they're the team that everybody's like, oh, look at how well they're playing. Yeah, they're playing great against bad teams. That's fine.
The Bears doing Bear things.
Thank you, Victor. The Bears doing absolutely. The Bears doing Bears things. How did the late Dennis Green put it? The Bears are who we thought they were.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, boy. Let's take a break. When y'all get back, college football is the order of the day, and we premiere something new for Totally Dietz. Biggest winners and biggest losers. Ooh. And Dietz has one of each.
Do you know what you're listening to?
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Here we go. It's time for Dietz's Top 15 presented by BetUS.com. And at 15, we start with the Boise State Broncos.
They're hanging out at the bottom, and like I say every week, they're basically there. They have to win them all to get anywhere they want to go, but they cannot afford to lose a game.
They cannot. At 14, we got the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, Alabama, good comeback win, bounce back win. So they're still alive.
At 13, we got the Indiana Hoosiers.
Hoosiers continuing their game, but again, going back to everything. Yes, they're undefeated, but they haven't gotten to the meat of their Big Ten schedule yet. So I still want to see what they can do against big time teams.
Our next team has a big one coming up this weekend. That's the Clemson Tigers.
Clemson Tigers staying strong, and it's going to be tough for Clemson to really do anything until the ACC championship game.
At 11, we have the Iowa State Cyclones.
Yep, same thing with Iowa State. They're right there, but they cannot afford to lose a game.
To the top 10 we go. We have the BYU Cougars at 10.
And it's same thing, Big 12. They just have to the Big 12 needs both those teams to get through undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need the top two teams to get undefeated and get to Dallas for the Big 12 championship. At 9, we go to Columbus, and we have the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ohio State does not have – they've played great this season, but they do not have a signature win. They get that chance this weekend.
All right, that's when they face Penn State. At number 8, we have the Texas Longhorns.
Yep, and the same thing with Texas. They've played great all year. They do not have a signature win. Their best win is against Oklahoma. Yeah,
and that came in Dallas. Number 7, we have the Texas A&M Aggies.
The Aggies, great performance this weekend. That bumps them up. It also bumps another team up, which I'll talk about later. But Texas A&M is primed and ready right now. They're in the driver's seat to make the SEC championship game.
At number 6, we have the Miami Hurricanes.
Yep, still undefeated, but they have the same problem Clemson has. They're in the ACC.
Yeah, and they also something you mentioned about a signature win. That'll take the ACC championship for that to happen. To the top 5 we go. We start at 5 with the Penn State Nittany Lions.
And again, we talk about signature wins. They don't have any. Their best win is against USC. The only reason they're here is they're undefeated, and they've played very well. Now let's see them play against a big-time team, and they get them at home. They can't afford to lose this game.
They cannot. It's going to be a whiteout. It'd be at Happy Valley. At number 4, the Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee, and nobody was happier to see Alabama beat Missouri than the Tennessee Volunteers because they got that win. That Alabama is their signature win. They need Alabama to be as good as possible.
Speaking of signature wins, at number 3, we have the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Yeah, big win over Navy. It was a big-time game. Everybody was watching to see what Notre Dame would do, and Notre Dame did not disappoint. They blew Navy out of the water and did not lay off. And then at night, they get that Texas A&M win, which the Irish have a win at College Station.
Yep.
And this is a Texas-Alabama situation from last year. When Alabama won in the SEC championship game, that helped Texas the most.
It did.
Because once Alabama was in, they knew they had to put Alabama in. But then they looked at it and said, wait, Texas beat them. We have to put Texas in as well. So that's where Notre Dame is going to ride that A&M game until it doesn't help them anymore.
At number 2, we have the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, the Ducks, and again, their signature win is Ohio State, and then their schedule drops off. The next one's Illinois, and that's just not gonna cut it to get you into the top spot when we're talking about signature wins.
Speaking of signature, our number 1 team for the second straight week is the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, again, signature wins. Texas, they were already on the list, and Clemson, who's already on the list. So that's where Georgia separates themselves from the rest of this list.
That's the top 15. Dietz's top 15 presented by BetUS.com. Now we look at the biggest winners and losers. We'll start with the biggest winner. That's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Well, I talked about it. Not only does Notre Dame get a win for themselves, but Texas A&M winning just promotes them even more, and that's where they gained over anybody else. Is that not only did they get a win, their best opponent got a win, and it's just going to help them keep going as we watch them play.
And this will make Droid happy. The biggest loser, the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, well, their season's over. I mean, I looked at it. They have a 0.8% chance to make the playoff.
All right, that's our biggest winners and losers. That's presented by SeatGeek. And now, Dietz's games to watch, presented by America's Best. 2 glasses, $69.99. Visit your local America's Best for more details. Let's start in Happy Valley.
Why would I be happy that Mizzou's the biggest loser? Lennon's one of my best buds. I can't hate Mizzou.
Yeah, but you did when they played Vanderbilt.
Shut up.
Meanwhile, carrying on, let's talk about
Ohio State, Penn State in the whiteout at Happy Valley. That's a noon kickoff. That's the first game to watch from Dietz.
Both teams need this game. Probably Ohio State more, because they already have that loss against Oregon, but for both these teams, they need this game. But we talked about this before the season. James Franklin needs a signature win.
Mm-hmm.
Minus the Saquon Barkley season, he does not have a signature win against any good team.
No, he doesn't. The next one is the middle game. That's Oregon, top-rated Oregon, and Michigan. That's a 3:30 kick.
No, we've seen Oregon again. Oregon, Ohio State. We harped on it that week. Oregon did not win the game. Ohio State lost it. They went out and crushed Illinois. Both those games were in Autzen Stadium. Mm-hmm. Now they're on the road. Let's see if Oregon can bring it on the road in a big game.
And an ACC match to close out Dietz's biggest games to watch is this one. The Louisville Cardinals and the Clemson Tigers. That's a 7:30 kickoff in Death Valley.
Yeah, like we said when we were doing the Clemson does not have a signature win. We saw what Miami did to Louisville. Mm-hmm. Clemson needs to match that to make the ACC viable. So if you're an ACC fan, you need Clemson to win this game.
Right. Those are Dietz's games to watch, presented by America's.
Do you know what you're listening to?
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're listening to the Snowman in the Morning podcast.
Did you not get the memo?
Insanity ensues.
Can't wait.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
My beautiful Dr. K bringing us back from break. Tomorrow, we start at 11 a.m., and Deb Whitkus will be our guest picker. And I have a proposal for Chris Dietz. Want to join us?
Yeah, I'll be there.
We have 2 guest pickers. 11 a.m. is our start time. 11 a.m. is our start time tomorrow. And if Dog thinks he lost control when Deb was here,
no,
we now have 2 guests.
You're really going to make this hard on me tomorrow, aren't you?
No, I'm just going to make you yell.
No, you're going to make me yell all the time.
No.
There will be some.
You're going to yell. You're going to. You know what Dog's going to yell at me?
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
And Victor's going to be no. Even better. I'll use the EP himself. I will tell you exactly what Dog is going to say to me when I just sprung this on him. You tripping for tomorrow.
Nah, Dog hearing that there's going to be 2 guest pickers is just Bishop Bullwinkle.
Hell no.
I may as well. This is Dog's response to us having 2 guest pickers tomorrow.
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no.
Fair use to that, and which sends the show
I think we've been there for a while now.
Whatever are you talking about?
Don't BS me. Come on.
What?
Don't even.
All right.
I didn't say anything.
You don't have to. It started with yes, Dak, it is you, and we've carried over.
Okay, I did do that one. All right. Let's do some picks, shall we? The picks are presented by BetUS.com. I'll call the game. Dog will have the numbers, and we'll pick them. Let's go. We start in Happy Valley with Ohio State and Penn State at noon.
Ohio State's favored by 3. The over-under set at 46.5. Apparently, they don't want people happy in Happy Valley. Snowman, what you got for me?
Another coin aside.
I wanna, but I can't. The Buckeyes need this game more than Penn State does. And as bad as I want to have a mulligan on this game, I can't do it because it's one of the ones I plan to call. I'll go with the visitors. It'll be very small, but I'll go with the visitors.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ohio State Buckeyes. I just like what they're doing more. And this, it's going to be, and last time we and Joy had called them the Penn State Mutiny Lions. Let's see if they keep hold of that moniker today.
Droid?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Give me the wide out. Penn State all the way.
He's going with Penn State. All right, Dietz, it's yours.
Yeah, too much Ohio. Ohio State's way too powered on offense. I haven't seen Penn State if Penn State is able to run the ball, they're a good team. I haven't seen them able to throw their way out of it, and they're going to have to do some throwing on Saturday. So I'm going Ohio State.
Yeah,
Ohio State has this one. The offense is too much for Penn State, and even though it's going to be a whiteout, the scoreboard's going to read otherwise.
Yep. All right, we go to Arkansas. Ole Miss, ranked number 10, will take on the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Ole Miss favored by 7. The over-under's at a 53.5.
Okay, good. I'll lay the points with Ole Miss.
Vic?
I'm going to go with Ole Miss as well.
Good.
Draw.
No.
He's going to be a renegade. He's going to be a renegade. See, it wasn't even Snowman this time. It's Droid being the renegade.
Was Droid this time. It wasn't me.
Arkansas sucks. I don't care if they beat Tennessee. They barely did it. Give me Ole Miss.
Go ahead.
The last time a top 10 team went into Arkansas, they walked out a loser. I'm going with Arkansas over Ole Miss.
Ooh.
Even though I love Lane Kiffin, this just seems like a game that Lane Kiffin would try something stupid and mess it up. And Arkansas just seems like a team that would be able to take hold of that and just hold out. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go on the run. I'm gonna take Arkansas.
All right,
I've got Ole Miss.
Let's go to Champaign. Minnesota taking on 24th ranked Illinois, and I'm holding out hope for the Fighting Illini. What are the numbers?
Minnesota's favored by 3. The over-under's at 45.5.
Oh, that's some bullshit. Give me the Fighting Illini to beat Minnesota at home and have the fans storm the field one more time.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going the same way. The Illini seem to be getting a little better offensively, so I'm going to go with them.
Good.
Give it the Golden Gophers.
Why?
Renegade.
Why are you doing that?
Renegade. You know how
Renegade Droid. It's all yours, Deeds.
If they storm the field after winning a game that they're the higher ranked team, just stop. No, just stop. Stop the program. You don't storm the field when you're the higher ranked team. Give me Illinois to win at home, but don't storm the field. There's no need for that.
Storm the field. Storm the field.
Illinois wins this, but please have common sense and don't storm the field.
Right. And you're right. And y'all are right. Y'all are absolutely right. I just want anarchy. I want to see them storm the field like they did against Michigan, But in that case, they beat the defending national champions. Next one, we go to oh God, why'd you put this on the schedule? We go to Akron, Buffalo and Akron with a noon kick. All yours, dog.
The over/under set at 48 even, and the reason why I put this on here, it's a true coin flip because it's listed as even odds.
Hell no.
Because yes,
hell no. Hell no to the no. You can't make me do it. Nope. I ain't doing it.
Really?
Snowman, the biggest group of 5 hater.
No, I'm not a group of 5 hater. I'm just a hater of this game. But I'll make a pick anyway, and I'll go with hell. I'll go with Akron.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. I'm going to Akron.
Good.
Them Zips have been all over the place within college football. They suck. They are 11th in the MAC. And the only reason they're 11th is because Kent State is worse than them. Kent State still doesn't have a win. I know they just beat Eastern Michigan, but I'm sorry. Give me Buffalo.
Okay.
Deeds.
Yeah, I'm taking the bull. I'm taking the Bulls in this one. Akron really no offense. Buffalo known for defense, so I'll take the defense over the offense.
To Ross-Ade Stadium we go with a noon kick, Northwestern and Purdue. I don't care what the number is. Y'all already know which way I'm leaning.
Didn't even let
The number is 1 in favor of Northwestern, and the over/under's at 45.5.
I'm going with the Cats, and I'm going under.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cats. And actually, I'm going to go over.
Okay.
I think the Cats will do it. I think the Cats will
Good.
Play the shattering glass.
Nope. Nope.
You can't make me do it. You won't make me do it.
We're making you do it. If I had to do it with Buffalo and Akron, you got to do it for this one.
Anarchy. Nope.
There you go.
Oh, that's Austin's music.
I'm going to be the jerk. Oh, but why?
Shut up.
Every time I picked against Northwestern, I've been right. And I don't like Purdue, so I'm not going either way.
Mulligan
City.
All right.
I'll take Purdue in West Lafayette. As much as I love watching Northwestern, I think too much Purdue at home.
Yeah.
This game is going to be wacky. There will be a weird finish to it all. And frankly, Purdue's got this one at the end, I feel.
I just hope to be right for Northwestern for once. I've been right only 3 times this year. Let's go to Auburn. Vanderbilt and Auburn at 12:45.
Auburn favored by 7. The over/under's at 47.5. Snowman?
I'm going opposite. Matter of fact, give me this. I'm going with Vanderbilt.
Stone Cold.
I'm going with Vandy. Don't ask me why. I'm taking Droid's weird feeling. I'm going with Vanderbilt.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going with Vandy.
Good.
I'm going to explain it as if I'm Dietz. Too much Diego Pavi in that Vanderbilt offense. Give me Vandy.
Dietz?
Well, this is the kind of game that I think Vanderbilt has played so well. This is the kind of game that they come back to form. I'm going with Auburn.
Okay.
I like Auburn's chances. I got a weird feeling that this is going to come down to a late possession. And I just have that feeling that Auburn's going to find something that's going to link them in and just pull the upset on this. Well, pull the general consensus upset because I know a lot of people are going to have Vanderbilt in this matchup. I've got Auburn.
Mm-hmm. To the 3:30 games we go. We start with this one. Top-ranked Oregon against Michigan.
Oregon's favored by a country mile, and the over/under set at 45.5.
Hey, you muted. Oh, there you go.
I say
I'm going
Oregon's
over, and I'm laying
favored-
all the points. I'm going Oregon. I'm laying all the points.
Quack,
Vic.
quack, 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 quack. I'm gonna
Quack,
go.
quack,
I'm
quack.
going with what Brian said. Michigan's a bunch of frauds, and they've been showing that. I'm gonna go with the Ducks.
Well, thank you.
Good.
Oops. Wake up, droid.
Jordan, I wanna.
Wake up, droid.
Why do the schedule makers do this? Oregon's gonna run through Michigan like it's nothing.
Yep.
Deets.
So you think?
Go ahead, Deets.
In the big house, big underdogs. I'll take Michigan to cover, but Oregon to win.
Okay.
I got Oregon winning this one, but it'll be close.
Next one, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Do you know what's going to happen here tonight? And at St. Simon's and in Chickle Island and all those places? Man, there's going to be some property destroyed tonight, as said by the late, great Larry Munson in 1980 after Ballou to Scott. It's Florida. It's second-ranked Georgia.
Them Georgia Dogs are favored by 16, and the over-under set at 52.5. It's in their backyard. Do we expect anything different?
What's that coming down the track?
What's that coming down the track?
Give me them dogs. And
Well,
I
it's-
say the
it's-
dogs will lay them.
It's in
Jacksonville. Jacksonville.
The game is in Jacksonville. It's not
It's
in
in
their backyard.
but it's still Georgia's. But it's still Georgia's backyard, considering they won the last 5. I want to say in this matchup, I'm going with the dogs. I'm laying all the points, and I say Georgia hangs 40 on Georgia. On Florida.
Vic.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Give me the dogs.
Good.
Go dogs! Go
Go
dogs! Go dogs!
Dogs.
Go
Dogs.
Sick 'em.
Give me the dogs.
Deets.
If you're a Florida fan, just go to this game, go to the tailgate. Don't even bother going in because this game's going to be over by halftime. This game will be over by kickoff. Georgia is going to stop them. There's no point in even going into the game. Stay at the tailgate, have fun, and make the game fun. Once you go in that stadium with a Florida jersey on, you are going to regret it.
Yep.
Sweep.
Clean sweep.
Let's go to Stillwater. We start our evening games with this one. Arizona State and Oklahoma State.
Arizona State favored by 3. Over-unders 58.5.
58.5.
Yep.
Okay, screw it. Give me the Sun Devils to lay the points.
Vic.
I'm gonna go with Arizona State.
Okay. And yes,
good.
I'm playing Card Sharks in the background for you game show fanatics that know me and know me oh so well.
Good. Wake up.
Mulligan.
Go ahead,
Hey.
Deets.
Hey, Mulligan. Man.
How you gonna take a mulligan on this one? There's only one man in this. There's only one man in this game who has a mullet and will be on the sidelines. Give me Oklahoma State, and they'll crush Arizona State at home.
You know what? I'm calling for it too. I got Oklahoma for this one. I just got a feeling the offense is going to be too much.
To Kinnick Stadium at 7:30, the Wisconsin Badgers and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Iowa favored by 3, and the over-unders at 40.5.
Okay, good. Give me the Hawks, and they'll cover it.
Vic.
IOWA. Give me the Hawks.
Right.
We all know about the odds thing.
Yep.
So give me Wisconsin.
You'll be sorry.
Listen, Snowman. Every time you said you'll be sorry, you've been
He hasn't been sorry. He has not been sorry.
Deets, help
I'm
me
saying
out
it
here.
again.
Deets.
It wouldn't be fit down if we didn't say go Iowa.
Right.
Iowa wins, but this game bet the Wisconsin Iowa bet the under.
Yeah, I agree.
Late
I agree.
possession wins it for Iowa.
I think with these two teams, they'll be lucky. They'll be lucky to get to 30.
Yep.
Late possession wins it for Iowa 21-20.
All right. Let's go to South Carolina. 10th ranked Texas A&M taking on the Gamecocks of South Carolina.
2.5 point favorite for A&M. Over unders at 44.
Give me A&M to run all over the Gamecocks.
Vic?
Yeah, I don't see South Carolina doing anything. I'm sorry. I got to go with A&M.
Right.
The only Gamecocks I can take are the only Gamecocks I could take are in Jacksonville State. Give me Texas A&M.
Deets.
Yeah, they seem the odds makers seem to not like Texas A&M for some reason, but
yep.
Every time their back's against the wall, they seem to get with it. So I'll take Texas A&M. I think they win it, and they win it big.
Ever since they stomped a mud hole in Missouri, the odds makers have been against A&M. Go ahead, dog.
Give me A&M. There's too many jokes about Gamecocks and flatness, but I'm not going to make them right now.
Yes. Way too many. To Seattle, USC and Washington in an old Pac-10 rivalry. This is a 7:30 kickoff.
Ooh. USC favored by 2.5. The over-under set at 56. Apparently, they feel this is going to be high scoring.
Hell no. USC favored by 2.5. Hell no. I'm taking the Huskies. And I'm saying the Huskies lay 40 on their ass.
Oh, wow.
Vic?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'll go at Washington on a limb.
Right.
Both of these teams are terrible. Both of these are
bunch of booty.
awful.
They're bowls of mid.
They are bowls of mid.
Well, which bowl of mid do you like?
Just a minute. They're bowls of
booty.
Well, which bowl of booty?
USC is a little bit saltier. Washington's a little bit spicier. Give me the spice. I like Washington here.
Deets?
All right, bet the over.
Yeah.
Don't even touch this game and just bet the over. This is going to be a 7-on-7, basically. Both these teams' defenses are garbage. The USC hasn't been able to tackle anybody. I think ever since Lincoln Riley got there. However, I'll take Lincoln Riley. Too much USC offense.
I got Washington, and it's going to be a shootout.
All right, we go back to Texas for this matchup. Anybody that remembers what happened in 2015 when there was 119 points in this game? It's TCU, it's Baylor, and I have made an executive call. This is our late game with an 8 o'clock kickoff. We'll have it live on the channel, and we're going to go back and forth with this one. Dog?
Baylor favored by 3. The over-under. Here's your shootout. It's a 64.5.
I bet the over, and I'm going with the Bears at home.
Vic?
God, this one I think the coin did flip on this side.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Baylor.
Right.
Too much Baylor at home.
Deets?
All right, everybody went Baylor, so I'm going with the Horned Frogs.
Of course.
Renegades.
Look, Deets has been doing this to me for 8 years. Okay,
I love Sonny Dykes, so I'm going with it.
Listen, Deets has been doing this to me for the 8 years he's been on air with us, and Deets, thank you for sticking with us for these 8 years. Go ahead, dog.
I got Baylor in this one. It's going to be high-powered, man. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
All right, wild card time. What's the first one?
First wild card on the list is South Florida and Florida Atlantic. South Florida is favored by 2.5. The over-under set at 49.5.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Florida Atlantic.
Vic?
I'll go all the way. I'll go South Florida.
Right.
I did a long rebuild on College Football 25 for the University of South Florida. And you usually say yourself, Shane, I'm a homer, but I'm not an idiot.
But I'm not stupid.
But in this case, I'm just going to be a homer. Give me South Florida.
All right.
I'll take Florida Atlantic at home.
I got South Florida. I got a feeling that it's going to be one of those games.
So this is a split.
All right.
Split.
Our
Next
final game.
We got two because I added one at the end because it's one of Dietz's picks.
Okay.
We got Tulsa. We got UAB. UAB's favored by 3. The over-under set at 57.5.
What?
Yep.
After Tulsa's comeback, I'm going with Tulsa.
Vic?
I'm going to go with UAB.
Right?
Both of these teams are actually terrible. There's no way I can.
Sure you can.
Tulsa has at least beaten a conference team, so give me Tulsa.
Dietz?
I'll take UAB running the option.
Okay.
I got UAB in this one. It'll be close.
And the last one.
It's Louisville.
Clemson.
It's Louisville. It's number 11 Clemson. Clemson favored by 10.5. They call this game a shootout. It's set for 63.5.
Cade Klubnik will club Louisville for 350. For how did Victor put it?
350.
350.
350.
Cade Klubnik gets 350 in the air and a $150 on the ground. Give me Clemson.
Vic?
Just because he said that, I'm going to go with Clemson as well.
Clemson.
Dietz?
Yeah, Death Valley, way too much for Louisville. I'll take Clemson.
Death Valley, you say?
Yep.
Undertaker's rule.
Yep.
Adios, Louisville. Give me Clemson.
And Louisville has not won in Clemson since 2013. So you got to keep that in mind. Those are our picks presented by BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Get me out of here.
And that's totally Dietz. And Dietz joins us as he will every Thursday to talk football, talk sports with us. Dietz, we love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming aboard. We appreciate it. And if I don't say it enough, thank you for sticking with me and sticking with this show and my network for the past 8 seasons. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And if you thought those were crazy, just wait till tomorrow when we get NFL picks.
Oh,
yes.
God, yes.
The NFL picks are going to – I'm going to warn everybody right now. The NFL picks are going to be crazy. Thank you, Dietz. Appreciate you.
I'm going to want to be drunk after the show.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
When Cole made the original opening, Dietz made a request that he hears a little piece of Keith Jackson.
Right.
So we did him proud. We did Keith Jackson proud. And folks, we hope that we did you proud with today's show. Our executive producer is Cole Johnson. Our producer in studio is Shane Lake. Our coordinating producer, the lovely Dr. K. Our engineer is Victor Locke. Droid helps us with the graphics. And thank you to all of our guests and thank you to all of our sponsors, which include, where are you at? Right here. Which include SeatGeek. Use the code Snowman for $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan. By Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Go to invadercoffee.com. Use the code Snowman, and you'll get 15% off of your purchase. And y'all know the big one. It's BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins. You get 125% deposit match on your deposit. And last but not least, Fanatics, officially licensed everything. Phew. Made it through.
Improve that sound.
I gotta change that. I'm gonna work on changing that tonight.
Okay.
And in the meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting out of here.
Snowman.
Yes, sir.
Can you make a yes, Brad?
No, I
Oh,
will not
God.
make that graphic.
Brad?
I will not make. I will
Which
not. Make
Brad are we talking about?
Marshan.
Hell no.
I'm not making that graphic because I already made it.
What?
I just haven't loaded it yet.
Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams
don't scare you, they're simply not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. Snowman, Droid, Shane, and myself do it. And we hope that you do it too.
So long, everybody. And thank you.